Chapter 4, Part 1. Despair, the abyss of night, the bottomless pit of being. If fear is the anticipation of disaster, if sorrow is a response to loss, and if anger is resistance to being wronged, then despair is the exhaustion that comes when all resistance has failed, when all hope has died, and when the soul stands at the edge of the abyss and sees only darkness below. Despair is the heaviest of all emotions, the darkest of all states, and the most dangerous of all territories. It is not the acute pain of fresh grief or the hot intensity of rage, but the cold, gray conviction that nothing will ever change, nothing will ever improve, and nothing matters because nothing can matter in a universe devoid of meaning. In its deepest form, despair becomes what the mystics called the dark night of the soul. That terrible passage where even faith dissolves, even hope dies, even the will to continue evaporates, like morning dew under a scorching sun. Here, in the bottomless pit of being, we encounter the existential terror that all our philosophies, religions, and therapies are designed to protect us from. The possibility that life is meaningless, that we are alone, that suffering serves no purpose, and redemption is a fairy tale. We tell ourselves to avoid facing the void. The despairing soul has lost the plot of their own story. They cannot remember why they're here, cannot see where they're going, cannot imagine a future worth inhabiting. The past is regret, the present is pain, and the future is a blank wall. Time itself becomes a prison, each moment another stone in the crushing weight of meaningless existence. What's the point? Asks the despairing heart. Why go on? Why try? Why hope when hope is the cruelest torment of all, raising us up only to drop us harder when it inevitably disappoints us? In despair we lose not just happiness, but the capacity to imagine happiness. Not just hope, but the ability to conceive of reasons to hope. Not just meaning, but the framework within which meaning could exist. We become trapped in a cognitive and emotional prison where every thought confirms our hopelessness, every memory reinforces our worthlessness, every future scenario ends in disaster or emptiness. The body of the despairing one becomes heavy, as if gravity itself has doubled its pull. Getting out of bed requires Herculean effort. Taking a shower feels like climbing a mountain. The simple tasks of living, eating, dressing, and speaking become nearly impossible burdens. Why eat when nothing tastes good? Why dress when it doesn't matter? Why speak when no one can understand us? This is the particular cruelty of despair, that it isolates us, even from those who love us. They cannot reach us in this pit. Their words of encouragement sound hollow, their optimism feels insulting, their presence reminds us of the connection we can no longer feel. We are the walking dead, the living ghosts, the present in body, but absent in spirit. And perhaps, most terrifying of all, despair whispers that this is the truth we've been avoiding all along, that this darkness is reality, and everything else, joy, hope, and the meaning love, was just a distraction, just a denial, just a comforting lie we told ourselves to avoid facing the fundamental emptiness of existence. In the depths of despair, some souls contemplate the final exit, the ultimate refusal, the permanent end to unbearable consciousness. If life is meaningless anyway, why continue the charade? If pain is all there is, why not stop the pain by stopping everything? This is despair's darkest whisper, its most seductive lie. But even here, in this most dangerous territory, a truth waits to be discovered. That despair, like all emotions, is not the whole truth. It is a state, not a trait, a weather pattern, not the climate, a visitor, not a resident. The despairing mind cannot see this, cannot see anything beyond its own darkness, but it remains true nonetheless. Despair is the ego's final defense against transformation. It arises when we are being asked to release something we thought was essential to our identity, to die to some version of ourselves we thought we were. The old self is dying, and the new self has not yet been born. This liminal space, this gap between death and rebirth, feels like an annihilation, and in a sense, it is. Something is being annihilated, but not the essential self, only the false self, the small self, the constructed identity that was never real to begin with. Stay tuned, to be continued.